The movie that is going to be explained is titled The Addams Family 2019. It is obvious that Addams Family has been shown here. Addams is the guardian of the family and others are his offspring. A mysterious girl is seen getting ready at the beginning of the movie. She uses blusher. Then she staples her ears with a stapler instead of using earrings. She was not looking like a human being. It was appearing as if she is a ghost, but she deserved to adorn herself because it was her wedding day. She was going to marry into the Addams family. But no one knows that townsfolk neither liked the Addams family nor this girl, because they were not like others in appearance. Now that girl moves to the place where her marriage was going to be held. There are Mr. and Mrs. Addams, whose son is expected to marry her. There are also the other people of the town, standing there drinking something and enjoying. But there was also a group in the village who were against their wedding and did not wish that they may tie the wedding bond, because the group had thought that monsters will take birth in their house. Those people approach their aggression where their marriage is going to be held. In fact, they wanted to stop the wedding, or they wanted to exile them. Due to this, the Addams family is very grieved, and this girl was already looking sad because townsfolk used to act the same whenever their marriage was nearly to be held. Now Mrs. Addams says to a man, "Take them out of this town safely." Now that man takes them out of this town and they make them sit in the car. That car is being driven only by hands without a body. And he is the special worker of Addams' son. They drive ahead, crossing a desolate road. They are unaware of where they will go. The car is driving speedily, with only visible hands at the front seat side, which is driving the car. And Mrs. Addams is at the back seat, who has recently wedded. Then a man is hit by their car. That man is also very mysterious but a tramp. Addams' son thinks that there has not left any servant to us. We have left everything there. Why may he be taken as a servant? We will keep him with us where we live. The asylum is viewed as the car moves ahead, which was closed many years ago. No one used to live there. Then Adam and his wife hit upon a plan. Why may this place be populated again while staying here? This means that there may be hustle and bustle again. They decide to make this asylum as their house, and they set Addams Family House board while removing the board of asylum. The servant also begins to live with them. Now the scene shifts. Many years later, a sight is shown. There are big-sized hanging family photo frames in their house, which indicate that 2 more members have increased in Addams' family, who are the kids of this couple, including a daughter and a son named Pugsley. He is very mischievous and he begins to act uniquely. Whereas Wednesday, who is their daughter, remains sad for most of the time because she wishes to go out of her house, leaving this dull and old house. But her parents forbid her. That outside world is threatening because they knew that they had to face blunt criticism. People used to think that monsters will take birth in their house. They may not kill their kids considering the monsters. This was the cause. They used to hide their kids at home. They had also infinite affections for them. They had a magical tree in their house which could move. The kids were habitual to sit on this tree, waking up. Or the same tree used to wake these kids up when the time of their awakening approached. Wednesday was sentimental for this. She is friendless and she always remains alone. With the concern of her brother, there is not any type of peace in his mind. His attention is towards the bomb, and he is interested in knowing about modern technology. How may the tactics of battle be learned? If his father trains him in swordsmanship, he forbids his father, saying, "My father, who learns swordsmanship now." Nowadays, people use advanced weapons. Then Wednesday hears a sound coming from outside the gate. There had come a little girl who was sounding her bicycle bell. She may be willing to see who lives at this house. Wednesday immediately runs to the gate and she opens the gate. When that little girl observes that a strange-looking girl has come out of the house, that she is not like ordinary people, Then that little girl runs in fear. Due to this, Wednesday is badly hurt. Wednesday sits at the dining table, coming inside, where her other family members are present. Wednesday says to her mother, "My mother, I am fed up. Can you not allow me to move outside? When I will be allowed to step outside." Then her mother says to her, "I will inform you when the time comes. You are still young. When you will know about the society, what community thinks about us, and how they behave with us at that day, I will allow you to step outside." Their uncle comes to the dining table. He reaches there mysteriously, and they dine together now. On the other side, the Addams family servant comes on the scene, who was watching a TV show relevant to architecture. She used to design the house adorably and was saying today that she will make such a town after building beautiful houses that you will have never seen. Now, the Addams family house was very old and colorless, as it is the black and white photo of the old times. The town, which was being made by that architect, was pretty, adorable, and also according to modern times. Then the same location is seen where the architect is present, and the little girl who had been seen out of the Addams house, she is her own daughter. The bicycle rider girl tells her mother, that house, how mysterious that house is. Then her mother checks that house, going upstairs with her. She observes that the house at a distance and dislikes it because it is entirely dull. She thinks that she is making a very adorable town, and people will not visit here in this way. So this town is inaugurated where many people visit and enjoy it. And they also release balloons into the air. Then a balloon reaches the Addams house, flying in the air. Wednesday, who was playing outside, catches that balloon and brings it inside. Her family asks her little child, "From where have you brought this balloon?" When she tells that she has caught it from outside. It seems that someone has visited here. I also witness a kid in the morning who was looking very advanced. Her mother says to her, "It may not happen that someone comes here. We want to stay alone. We are fed up with the behavior of the people. We don't want someone to come into our surroundings." Wednesday's father says, "Let's go outside to check." Who has come when they check? Coming outside, there is the same town at the foot of the mountain, of which news a TV channel was broadcasting. The town belonged to that architect. Adam feels excitement and says to his family, "We will move to that town after a while." And the whole family is scared because they were disliked until today by everyone. No one knows how they will be treated by townsfolk. Anyhow, they move there without deliberation. It happens the same as what was supposed to be alarming. The advanced people of that town begin to stare at them, as if an alien had approached their town. At the beginning, they feel uncomfortable due to this, but those innocent people had habituated themselves to this attitude. They've never done wrong to anyone. In spite of this, people used to treat them like this. Some kids are dancing. Then they meet the Addams family. When Adam's uncle begins to meet them, awkward things come out of his coat. Seeing it, all kids are scared, and they begin to run. Then the female architect says to them, "Coming there, welcome to my town." The Addams family feels pleasure meeting with her. The female architect begins to say to them, "I have seen your house building. If you don't mind, I say that it is incomparable with my town. It is so dull. If you want, I can alter the look of your house building. I can change it into advanced and adorable." But Wednesday and Pugsley's mother says, "No, we like our house as it is." But her husband says, "No issue. You can visit our house. You can check. In fact, he was feeling pleasure that someone talked with them nicely for the first time. Next day, when the architect goes to their house, there is going on the swordsmanship training of Pugsley by his uncle and father. The architect does not feel good while visiting there because she observes a lion there that had been brought up by the Addams family, and Pugsley was walking in a reversed way. She takes their house very awkward. But that architect had reached there, and it was her own decision. How could she turn back? Now the architect moves ahead, but she observes that there is a space. Adam's wife asks her to be comfortable, and she creates a spiderweb bridge there and asks, "Come here after walking on it." But the architect is scaring covertly. She has a fear in her heart. The visitors of my town will be afraid if I don't bring betterment to this house, and they will leave us. So I will have to change it at any cost. Wednesday and the architect's daughter are playing with each other outside. Wednesday says to that girl, "I like your life very much. You stay outside, play, and talk with anyone independently. You will have many friends." On the other side, the architect is seen at home, who begins to paint the green color on their house floors. Adam's wife does not like it at all. Then her husband also realizes that his remaining family is going to visit their house to perform a ritual. They will be gone angry, witnessing the colorful house. He expels the architect and her assistants. Afterwards, the architect loses her temper and says, "I will surely take revenge now, and I will destroy their house. But if I could not be able to do it, then I will provoke the whole townsfolk against them. No one will take them good and avoid communicating. Then they will also feel degraded as I have felt today." Wednesday moves to her mother as they depart, and she says to her mother, "As that girl goes to school and she has a number of friends, I also wish to go to school." Her mother forbids her strictly. Then Wednesday's father comes there, and he says to his wife, "You always show your anger on the kids. You feel over insecurity. We will send our girl to school from today. She will also make new friends. I cannot let my children feel so isolated." At last, Wednesday begins to go to school. At the very first day, everyone stares at her. There is also a girl with a ponytail hairstyle who teases her very much. There is also that architect's daughter who had already befriended Wednesday, so they begin to spend time together. That girl had other friends who were twin sisters. In the science class, they are assigned a task to dissect the frogs. And that girl with the ponytail hairstyle also begins to tease Wednesday here. Wednesday gets infuriated, and she had knowledge about magic. So she transforms those frogs into zombies, and these zombie frogs begin to go after that girl. Due to this, all students and the teachers begin to run from school in fear. But the architect's daughter and those twin friends like it a lot. That their friend Wednesday has the ability to control everything. Now, they four are closely befriended. On the other side, the architect is seen keeping an eye on the townsfolk because she had set up CCTV cameras in the town. She was watching their footage, sitting in a room, and she was looking shrewd. Any plan is striking in her mind, and she soon creates her fake accounts and sends messages to others. As the Addams family is so wicked who lives there in a grand building. They are monsters. There is bred fear in the heart of the people, and they forbid their own kids and others to meet them. They sloganize, "Going out of their house, leave our town," even though they were already living there. On the other side, it is seen at Adam's house that Mrs. Adam has arrived here. She has grown very old. Her son feels satisfaction meeting with her. Wednesday also comes back from school. The hairpin stuck with her hair. "It is pink," her mother says to her, "Wednesday, why have you set the hairpin? Do you not know that we use dull colors? We don't use such things." But Wednesday says, "Mother, I like it. I have started to like the radiant life." Her mother says to her, "No. It will not be acted like this." She goes to her brother, who also says to her, "No one knows what is the matter with mother." Those siblings are worried as their parents behaved with them like this. Especially her mother is so rigid in this matter. But how did they know that their mother was feeling unsafe only for them? That those people may not harm her children. Wednesday's mother had said to her there is an urgent need to talk part while coming, but Wednesday does not go to her. so her mother is grieved. She keeps something before her and talks to her deceased parents. Then her parents teach her, "She's your daughter and she loves you." When you remain unable to understand her, then she is saddened. Give her little time. But she observes that her daughter has come after changing the clothes into pink, which are put on by the normal human beings. Wednesday's mother does not like it at all. She says to her, "Wednesday, I apologize, but you will not go to school from tomorrow. I don't like that change which I'm observing in you." And Pugsley is seen with his father and uncle, who is not interested in swordsmanship. He moves away. Then his father and uncle say to him he will lose the competition if it continues as such. And it is the rule of Addams Family, who does not know how to use the sword, who is not interested in these activities, and who is defeated at the end. He is not left alive. I hope you are understanding. This conversation is also heard covertly by Pugsley. He is hurt. On the other side, the architect's daughter is seen, who has totally changed her appearance like Wednesday. Both are inspired by the appearance of each, and they want to spend it as it is, and their parents are against them. When the architect also observes her daughter in this appearance, she also snatches her cell phone from her and says, "Next time, you will not play with Wednesday from the next time." On the other side, Wednesday leaves her house in dejection, and she comes to her friend. The architect's daughter feels pleasure seeing her, and she tells her that my mother is behaving very strictly. She wants that I may not play with you. She has also taken my cell phone. Wednesday says to her, "Come, let's search for your cell phone together." Now they begin to move in the house in its search. Now they reach that architect's secret room while searching, where she had set the monitors of CCTV cameras. When the architect's daughter notices that my mother is keeping an eye on townsfolk, she is observing the condition of those people, as what are they doing? So she feels very upset. Wednesday is left shocked. Meanwhile, the architect also approaches there, and she locks them in the attic while lifting. Both lose their temper and turn dejected. There is an event in the town where the media reporters had also visited, but the architect is already informed through a call that she will have to destroy that house before their arrival, or they will have to make Addams Family leave that place. So she agrees. Then her assistant tells her that Addams Family members are also participating in that event. Then the architect begins to send the fake messages to the people that the Addams whole family is going to attack all of us. You may all gather at my house. She delivers her speech to them when they all gather at her house, as they are going to battle against us, so we all will have to fight with them alone. They all agree and leave to their house. There is the same day at their house where a ritual is going to be performed. This is the cause everyone is gathering there. It was for this cause so that Addams' son Pugsley's abilities are checked. It may be checked, what are the qualities in it? The events start on both sides. Now townsfolk were going to attack them. Pugsley shouts very loudly, which no one could be shouted as such. After this, he grows a beard on his face. Later, his father shaves his beard and leaves the mustaches. Now the competition of swordsmanship is started. But Pugsley loses this competition, and his father is very dejected. How will he face his family that his son is not able for this? Pugsley says, "Pardon me, father." Then they are attacked by townsfolk. The stones are thrown by using the big machines. Pugsley's father says to him, "Stand up, my son. I have understood today that your interest in explosives or advanced weapons was very important. You will show your skill today." Pugsley picks the fling shot and he begins to throw the small explosives to the town, setting in it. And both sides confront violently. It has one loss that Addams' house ceiling begins to ruin, and it begins to collapse on them. Wednesday timely saves the life of her family. The tree with which she used to play, she drags her family out of the house with its branches. But the architect was still wanting to kill them. Before that, the architect attacks their house with stones. Pugsley destroys his machine with his explosives. Addams family feels satisfaction observing themselves secure, and they embrace one another. When townsfolk observe it, what is this? This is also family and love. One another like the common human beings, and they want to live happily. So they begin to say to the architect that you committed wrong. Then the architect comes ahead. She says to them, "No, they are provoking you. It is not such a matter." At the same time, the architect's daughter faces everyone, and she tells townsfolk, "I don't want to say as such, but I will like to reveal the fact which is wrong. My mother spies all of you, and she has set the CCTV cameras in your houses." Hearing it, townsfolk fly into rage. The architect's daughter is also showing it live on her cell phone, and the people comment so negatively. Then the architect knows that her TV show has also been banned, because she has been humiliated too much. She gets worried. Now no one will be interested to purchase her house buildings. Then Pugsley's uncle comes there and says to her, "It's okay, we can start our business together." And they leave that place. Now townsfolk had understood that Addams family is very gentle. They go to them and communicate, and they like them more. In this way, they build a good relationship. They move near their house and repair it where the house is damaged. Addams family allows them that they can mend their house what they like. Now their house is turned into radiant. Addams family also likes it. They begin to live with one another happily. Now there is not any type of difference among them. In the last scene of the movie, it is seen that a cloud passes over their house, and their house is turned into its former condition as dull and old after a thunderstorm. And the movie also completes on this scene. It is wished that you liked the explanation. Thanks for watching.